Hello, how's everyone? I hope everybody's having, it would be happy holidays. I mean, everybody's enjoying everything. I do the Christmas carols. I hope you like the Christmas carols. I'm doing it for you, everyone on my channel. And it's the first time I did it. And it's funny, like, all the time that I heard these songs, I didn't know exactly what they were saying, and now I do. Some of them I do that I don't do all of them. I don't do all of them now, but I started out doing every one of them, and it was really nice to hear some of the songs that you never hear hardly. But anyway, that's for you all. This one is gonna be on. I was at work and I was like, because I always pray all the time. And I was like, which one should I do next? Because it has to do with people. I mean, if it has a lot to do with people and understanding something, I usually pray about it. I mean, because you don't want to offend people, or you don't want to, you don't want to say the wrong things. It's really something else. I just want everything to be really nice for everybody. But this one I decided to do. It was like, I was walking to work, and usually I walk to work like really early. Usually I get up at least 3 hours before I go to work all the time. So, and it gives me time to like walk. I walk to work and then I like sit down and study, do some things, I always do that. And I usually get to work at about a half an hour before I go to work. So in that time that I had to think about everything, reflect on things, I thought about this YouTube about what would if Jesus was a Jehovah Witness, he would be disfellowshipped. That's what I wrote in this one. And then I had to pray about it. I said, this is really something else. I mean, if you think about it. So that's what it's going to be on. First of all, what would happen? I know he would be disfellowshipped, okay? First of all, there's a lot of things that he would never agree with. The world, he would not, as far as the things that you learn about Jesus, I remember when a guard came to him. What was it? Something like a guard, or um, uh, what were the bad people? The people in the world would be somebody like somebody, I guess it would be something like the Romans, okay? And I remember one Roman believed in him. There were people that believed in him even though he was, he was Jewish, you know what I mean? And he goes to him, I'm almost sure, I heard the story so many times. And I've seen it in movies and stuff like that. And he goes, somebody's sick, my servant, I think it was a servant or somebody that worked for him or something, that was sick. And, he wanted to talk to him. And they were Romans that really believed. That's how they got Christian, because, they needed help, a lot of help, you know what I mean? And Jesus accepted him just like nothing else. Right then, he would be disfellowshipped. Okay? He would be disfellowshipped because he was like, took down the wall. And like, if he was Jehovah's, he would be disfellowshipped for that. Or he would go, let's say that they would have a judicial meeting. And then, what's another thing? He had, Mary Magdalene. Mary. She would, if he was like associating with a prostitute, and trying to help her and stuff like that. And Jehovah's Witnesses don't help anybody. They don't even know what's out here. They don't know the causes. That's another thing. Come to think about it, I'm going off into a little tangent, but I just want to say they have no idea of all the ways that they can help people now. Okay, it's like no idea. It's really, really sad. So now I'm going to come back and see if I can find where I was. Okay, Mary Magdalene. Okay. Now, the thing about it is that he would definitely get on public reproof or be disfellowshipped, because he would not back down. And for helping her, okay, That would be another way for him to be disfellowshipped. Um, Birthdays, forget it. He would go. He would drink. He would drink with the sinners. So he would be. He would have a judicial meeting, and he would not back down. And he would be disfellowshipped for associating with people in the world, and they were in the world. I mean, the ladies of the night would wash his feet. You know what I mean? I'm almost sure, and he enjoyed their company, so he would be disfellowshipped already again. Okay. Um, During the meeting, of course, in the meeting, nobody raises their hand and says anything away. Nobody. I have been to all the meetings every week, and I have never heard somebody raise their hand and say, I don't agree with this because such and such and such and such and such. Okay. I mean, just say it sincerely that they don't understand. Not doing research on their own, but this is how they do it. They would do research on their own because they already know they can't say anything. Why do you think the brothers and sisters leave the congregation? When they research, they know they can't say it at the meeting. They can't raise their hand and say, I don't understand about how the organization was put together. I mean, we're talking about this, but it seems like we said this 5 years ago. Nobody would do that. Nobody does that because their mind is in control. But Jesus would raise his hand and he would go, that's not right. And what would they do? We'll talk to you after the meeting, Jesus. And he would be on public reproof or private reproof or something. He wouldn't make it there either. He would go to the birthdays, okay? He would most likely celebrate Christmas. I mean, I'm talking about any holiday, something like that. So let's see what else. He's already disfellowshipped so many times. He would be disfellowshipped. And then if one of his brothers or friends got disfellowshipped and they came to the meeting, he would be the first person to go over and talk to them. And they would go, you can't do that, Jesus. You can't talk to people who left the congregation. We said it in the letter. He would be disfellowshipped. What's another thing? He would then there in his Bible, the Bible, he would say, he would probably already read the whole Bible and come to them and tell them, this is not right. There's discrepancies here. He wouldn't research it on his own. That's another thing. He wouldn't research it on his own. He would just go right to them and say, there's something wrong with the literature. He would be disfellowshipped. They would tell him to leave. I'm sorry, but we can't have you here. Okay. So that would be another reason why he would be disfellowshipped. There's so many reasons why Jesus would be disfellowshipped. Let me see. Another one. It's enormous amount. I was thinking another thing today about some of the things Jehovah's Witnesses say that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And they use it as some kind of logic. I know about the cross. I know about, birthdays. They say birthdays because of King Herod. Because of something bad happened at King Herod's birthday. And that's the reason they give you why we don't celebrate birthdays. Things like that. He would say about the cross. Jesus would just tell them, that's not true. And they would go, well, we have to talk to you in a judicial meeting. He would not listen to anything the governing body would say. Okay, that would be another thing. One thing I want to stress is his friends. He would go talk to his friends, definitely. Okay, if they were disfellowshipped, he would definitely 100% talk to them. That would be a biggie for him not to be disfellowshipped. Like I said, raise his hand. What would be another reason why he would be disfellowshipped? I mean, they would say to him, there's no life after death. There's no life after death. And he would definitely not agree. And he would try and set them straight, but then he would be disfellowshipped. What's another thing that he would be disfellowshipped for? There's so many things that he would be disfellowshipped for. Okay? They would just kick him out of the organization. Anyway, that's enough. So it already made the point that if Jesus was a Jehovah's Witness, he would be disfellowshipped. Okay. Thank you very much. I had to pray about that one because I didn't know if I could do that one. I don't want to offend anybody or anything, but it's the honest truth. Okay. Thank you very much. Happy holidays.